Hey babe, welcome to my channel. My name is TK Shongwane. I am so happy to have you here. I'm excited about today. If you're new here, well, this is a beauty and wellness channel with a little bit of lifestyle. Today I'm going for an interview at Chaval Comm's radio. It's an online radio station based on Santon. I've been invited for an interview this morning at 8 o'clock. There's this lady I know, her name is Mahlaku, who is a presenter there, and a woman who owns an NGO called Sisters We Can. So she read my article when I wrote about, you know, how I dealt with being diagnosed with fibroids and that whole journey and stuff. And she thought it would be great for me to come and speak to her listeners about it. So when she asked me what the topic would be, I said, okay, let us title it The Drama of Being Diagnosed with Fibroids. So I'm on my way there, and I hope I'll be able to take you through most of the interview, if not all of it, and everything like that. So I'm really excited. I'll show you my fit. I look cute, easy, but cool and fabulous, I think. Anyway, I haven't done interviews in, I think, over 5 years or more than that. The last time I was on a radio interview was in 2016. So yeah, it's quite a long time ago. So I'm excited about it. And yeah, let's do this together. And then after the interview, then we will chat again and just close up this whole segment. Sharp. Yeah, boom.
Very short, TK, because we just need to dive into the conversation. How are you doing, gorgeous?
I'm great. How are you doing?
You're looking good.
Thank you so much.
Finally, I get to see you after the last time I saw you it was when you came to my show, to my event in Cape Town with Ayanda.
Oh yes,
back in the days.
No, that was not the last time. You also invited us, you know, when Juanita Benham came to
Oh yeah!
Actually, as I was driving past Moscow, I was like, oh, the last time. Yes, I was there.
So how come I don't? The only time I remember was when we went at the Salvation
I know,
Army.
that's a million years ago.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
So you were part of the people that I invited.
Yes,
wow,
my sister was there, and then we invited 2 other people, so we came with our own squad.
So you've always been that, you know, guys, and I mean, I'm not ashamed to say there are people that I admire so much, just from a distance. You know, yesterday I posted something, then you agreed to it. I said, you know, people, because me and you would like to post. Somehow people kind of like think that they know us because of, so Mina, from your post, somewhere, somehow, I feel like we are connected because of the things that you post, and we share similarities, we share similar things. We love fitness, we love looking good. So you've always been one of the people that I admire from afar and I follow. So because of your post, I feel like I know you. Yeah. But now I'm realizing, there's so many things that I don't know about UTK that I've always wanted to ask you. I mean, on WhatsApp and say, hey, you know, I wanted to find out what's, you know. So when you agreed to the interview, I'm like, yeah, now this is the time. I'm going to ask her. Yeah. So let's start by maybe a simple question that we always know. Who is, you know, we always ask on the radio, who is Takani?
Sure, that's a very difficult question. It sounds simple, but you know. So Takani, I'll make it simple by just describing my name. So Takani in Tonga means rejoice, be happy.
Oh, it's rejoice.
Yeah, like Tabang, Jablani. That's exactly what it means.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, I think my dad had a good idea with this name because I'm someone who really values happiness and being happy. So that is me, a happy soul who loves people but is an introvert.
Okay.
You know what I am. I love my space, being alone. You know, then when I'm outside, it's like I put in a different personality that comes out and is, you know, enjoys being people, but I need time to be, you know, by myself. I love people, like I said. I love anything that has to do with women and children. Yeah. You know, and a little bit of the guys as well, you know.
I love the guys, I like them.
Before they think I hate them and everything like that. But yeah, that's basically the kind of person that, you know, I am. Yeah, like just love people and encouraging people and doing anything that has purpose, but you know, also remembering that, you know, being happy is the big deal to me.
And I love how you love yourself, Takani. I can tell a person who loves themselves, a person who puts effort in themselves. When I find out, the reason why I say that I admire you from afar is because maybe you remind me of myself.
Sure.
You know, I'm one person, I mean, I don't get bored of myself when and I was telling our listeners when we started the show, if you don't learn to get high on your own high, yeah, it was a problem. I was dancing in studio, nobody was here, I was alone. I was dancing like ngati there's a party, you know, ngati konuma porisa la on the deck, but I realized that this is one thing that I've mastered over the years, is to get high on my own high. And I've seen you. I want to shame you get high on your own high.
Yeah.
You don't wait for people to tell you. You can take a video of yourself walking and post it, and you know how many people would like to do things like that, but they struggle.
Yeah.
Where does Utakane get that thing of just, I'm okay in my own skin?
Sure.
Is it something that you grew up knowing, or you had to learn over the years?
No, actually, I grew up with a very poor self-esteem, believe it or not. Oh, shame. My self-esteem was non-existent. If my sister's listen, she would really, like the stories I used to come back home crying.
Are you serious?
Growing up, not loving myself, coming from a family, my whole family is gorgeous. Like
you guys are gorgeous.
My dad must do a masterclass of how to make beautiful children.
and grandchildren as well.
Yeah, both from my sibling from my biological mom's side, as well as my stepmom, my dad, all his children are just so beautiful.
Wow.
And I growing up, I was the one who was the darkest.
Okay.
I mean, I'm getting lighter as I grow up because we're not in the sun anymore.
Of course.
But I was classified as darkish
Dark
at the time because everyone is like super yellow in my family.
Yellow.
So when they see me, people will say, "Oh my God, you're different from your siblings." They'll make comments like that. Always being told that I look like my dad. I love it now, but growing up I was like, why do I look like a man? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that, made me feel like I was not good enough. When I was in high school, I didn't enjoy high school. People would make comments about from how you walk with Jaitela, how I spoke and the kind of people that I hanged out with. For the longest time in high school, people thought, I was non-South African.
Yeah,
because they either thought that I was always either with Xhosa people who love English, obviously, or I was with either someone who's from Indonesia or Ghana or whatever. They're like, this one.
So you made friends with people who are from different places.
Who are not like me. You know what I'm saying? So
awesome.
Through life, then I realized, no, man, I don't like this. Surely, the world can't bully me and make me think I'm ugly or anything like that. So throughout my teenage and even now my adult life, I've had to really work on my self-esteem. So right now, nobody can tell me nothing about me, especially when it comes to my physical appearance, because I've worked so hard to believe that I'm actually a gorgeous hand. You know what I'm saying? And
gorgeous is an understatement, and I don't know. We need to find a word for this. We need to find a word for this. Honestly speaking, I don't get over your body. And now that I'm seeing, even from last time I saw you, you maintained so well. You've always that figure, the hips are in the right place. Everything is just in the right place. I'm but more than anything, your humility, babes.
Thank you
your
so much.
Humility, because sometimes, people can judge you based, because I've got that movement. And I've got that movement when I enter a place that she thinks the whole world is just, and unfortunately it's something that I inherited from my dad. My dad mega hamba, guys, that man, the confidence is just here. And it doesn't help the fact that we're very outspoken and Miss Kuluma, we command that. So I struggle with the same thing that you. When I walk, people thinking Gucci, and the more I grow, the more I own it. So I was singing with you as well. It just comes so, but you are just here. You're one person won't do like you notice me. I'm here. But this one, we are mangas about you grow up with these things. But I'm happy we're speaking about it, because a lot of people are struggling with confidence. A lot of people are struggling with knowing who they are. I was sitting with a gorgeous hand yesterday and reminding her, you are amazing. She looked at me like this, and when I'm in Peggy, she's intimidating me. And she's just like, what are you talking about? I don't know. I don't see what you're seeing in me. I don't know if you've had those moments where people will say, Takani, you're gorgeous. Takani, you're like this. You are well. You're spoken, but when you don't see that, I don't know if you've ever had those moments.
Not in the recent years. Yes, before, yes, it used to be like that. But right now, and I've actually, the books I read as well have helped me to realize that actually I should not be apologetic, or when I get a compliment, shy away from it and want to throw it back. If we're in a space and you tell me I'm beautiful, I'm going to own it and say thank you. You know what I'm saying? Not like, you too, because there's this thing women do, which is funny. And this specific book that I read a few years ago saying, when women you compliment them, they almost like withdraw from that. Or if you say, oh, you look so cute, and someone will say, oh, this old thing, And it's like, girl,
I
just
didn't
take the
comment about
compliment.
Yeah, just take the compliment and say thank you.
Yeah, you know, or when you compliment them and then they say to you, but you're also beautiful. I'm like, but not like I didn't think I'm beautiful by telling you. I'm just acknowledging the beauty in you, you know.
We've got a lot of growing to do, especially now we are in Women's Month. As women, there's so much growth that needs to be done. And I love the way women are, you know, are out there, you know, doing things. But one of the things that I've realized and I'm noticing with women, even though we are out there doing great things, lack of self-esteem is still very high among a lot of women. You'll find a person who owns this big company or who works in a male-dominated industry and who's doing things that are like, I don't even think I was gonna. But still, when you sit down with them and talk to them, because I nature the soul. I'm all about soul. I'm all about spirit. I'm all about helping people to discover who they are. So I like to talk to people mostly about issues that connects to the soul, and I don't care about the outside appearance. I love looking good, but when I deal with the Is Takani, I want to deal with what's happening inside. Do you understand what I mean? So when I sit with this person and I'll be telling them, what you're doing is great and this and that and that, but really, who are you? You know, a person will look at you and even when I share it here, it's like I don't know myself. Like I don't know you don't know who you are, but you're running a big empire, a company that is making a lot of money and you're doing great things, but you don't know as you know, if I could handle relationships, handle my emotions the way I handle my business, life would be much better. So in this Women's Month, I think we really need to, you know, help women to grow their confidence, especially, you know, because we're gonna talk about a very sensitive topic to a lot of people. You know, when you shared your journey, in fact, I read about it, I think on Instagram, when you started posting about your journey with fibroids. I'm like, it might have been very hard for you. And you know how many other women out there. The other day I met a high school friend of mine. So Nimazi and Tammy. So she had a umkaba. So and I heard that she had a child a year ago. So when I met her, I'm like, oh, you're pregnant again? Sure. Even now, I don't think she's still speaking to me, that girl. She's still angry. Because I didn't know Uguti, she had fibroids. And Zikula Ngati, she's pregnant. I didn't know. I'm like, guys, I don't know. I was not aware of, number one, what's going to be my fibroids. I know I had a cyst, Mina. I only discovered it 2 years ago, but when I had my child, apparently at because with centimeters. When I had it, it was about 2.3 something. And now when I went and checked, like, no, the doctor said to me, you don't even have to remove it. But with fibroids, I didn't know they can even make you look pregnant. So these are the issues that when Takani, and I am happy that you agreed to come to studio and share your journey openly about it. Oguti, what are fibroids? Because you'll find that there's a woman listening and they have that condition, but they don't know about it. What are fibroids?
Sure. Okay. I'm not going to give you the medical term because I might butcher it. But basically, it's a growth that happens in your uterus. Okay. Right? And nobody knows the cause. Like, you cannot prevent it, basically.
So it can happen to any woman.
Any woman, but what I've found out, it is mainly the women of color. So we're talking anyone who is non-Caucasian. So it can be black, you can be Indian, you can be Asian. It happens more to us versus.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You see, I didn't even know that.
So I mean, if you do research or anyone you've heard, most of the time you'll find that it's people of color. And when I started researching about it, I realized that that's what it is. So it grows in the uterus. Like some people say, as small as about the size of, I don't know, like a coin to as big as a watermelon. And I'm not even exaggerating. When I was diagnosed in 2019, I think the first doctor I went to, he said about 5 fibroids in my uterus, right?
5 of them.
It gets worse. On the day that I did the op, they removed 13.
Whoa, wait up. And you're saying these things, they can grow in the size of a watermelon?
Yeah, it just keeps growing.
And you had 13 of them?
Yeah. It's from the smallest to like the biggest. That was about size of like a
my word.
Yeah. So yes, when they say that you look pregnant, I did. It just that because of the how I dress, and because people, I think I've just dumped them by my body, that they think even when my body looks different, they don't see it.
Because I need to, like I said, everything is in the right place. So
so people would think I'm over exaggerating until I show them my picture without clothes, how it looked. And people are like, TK, you were carrying this all this time. I was like, yeah, it's like I looked proper pregnant. So I remember when in 2019 I was diagnosed and I was like, okay, whatever. And, I was doing research because these people say you can reduce it through diet and other things. And so I tried that version. And then there's also obviously different operations where there is the myectomy, which is what I did.
Sure.
And then there's also a hysterectomy where they remove your whole womb. But that is like for extreme measures. There's a lot of women who've gone through that where they said, you know what, it's too far out, so you would have to remove your entire womb. There's a lot of women who've done that. And also they have to check as well if it's cancerous or not. Luckily mine wasn't. So for people that they find maybe it's cancerous, they would remove the womb sometimes, feeling that, it's going to be safer for you to not have this womb at all. So yeah, that's basically fibroids. Yeah. And if I can tell the symptoms, because you won't see it at first, right? So you'll have back pain, like intense back pain. You will have to, your bladder, have to, but you come a lot, like urinate a lot, like a pregnant woman. I mean, I have no experience, but it's like that kind of vibe and everything like that. Sex is very painful. What else? Some people experience very painful periods. I didn't, luckily. Yeah, so there's a few symptoms that are besides that. It's not painful as in having them, they're uncomfortable, but there's other symptoms that make your life a little bit difficult.
In your case, when the first time when you realized that you have them, what happened? Did you feel any pains?
No. So I was married at the time.
Yeah.
And I had been trying to fall pregnant. I've never been on contraceptives or anything like that. So I thought, okay, pregnancy should be easy.
Must just happen like that. Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, I've heard through the time where people say, they were not able to fall pregnant quickly, and maybe I'm one of those. Maybe in a year or two it will be sorted, right? But that didn't happen. I remember the most painful thing about this process, even before I was diagnosed with fibroids, is that when your periods come every month, I would be so sad. Growing up when periods wouldn't come, you're like, oh my God, better not be pregnant. But now it was a different story where it was like, again. So no baby again. You know what I'm saying? So that was that. And then also my tummy was getting big, but it's very hard. So it grows and it's by your lower abdomen.
And you would think it gives you a sign that you're pregnant.
Yes,
on its own.
Exactly. And it would be so hard. I remember my ex-husband would touch me and be like, and he would get excited as well, thinking, oh, is there something? I'm like, no, dude, I'm on my period, so it's definitely nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that was that. And then in 2019, I decided to go to a gynecologist. Was highly recommended close to where I stayed. And then he said, so why are you here to see me? I'm like, well, I haven't been falling pregnant and I want to know what is the matter. He says, okay, there's a few reasons why, but let me put you down on my table and check with the scanner. Then when he looked at me, he's like, Taki, obviously you're pregnant. I mean, you've got fibroids. That's what he said. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And then I called my ex-husband at the time to say, hey, this is what has happened, and I remember what is so crazy about the situation. They should give you see the scan you get when you, what do they call it? Ultrasound. Yes. The ultrasound, he gave me a picture of that to show what's going on. I remember saying to my older sister, before reading my message, she got excited thinking she's going to be an auntie. Like, no, girl, there's nothing in there. It's some funny things growing inside me. So fine, I was dealing with all of that because it was just like, oh my God, I've been healthy all my life, never been to hospital, I'm hardly sick.
Exercising.
Yes. And I don't understand what this is. I've waited all my life and here I am, I'm married and I still can't, do the thing that should be the simplest thing to do as a woman. And I let it go. Then in 2020, I'd already separated from my husband at the time. I went to my regular pap smear and then my GP. As I lay down, I tell her, I'm like, just be aware, I've got fibroids, and everything like that. When she opened my dress, she freaked out because she's like, there's no way, your tummy is too big. She actually made an appointment for me immediately, a doctor for another doctor, at the hospital near us. She's like, I'm making an appointment for you to see this person. Yeah. And then when she couldn't get through, she called me, says, but we're going to get an appointment and here's a referral letter in the meantime. That's how freaked out she was about it. Yeah, that made me very sad. It was so painful to, having a doctor who reacts that way, that girl, you have to sort this out. and I still had to go to work because I took time off just to do the pap smear and go back. I went.
Yeah, I mean, it takes an hour. So
Yeah,
I just came just to check up.
And then go. I remember I went to H&M. I think I spent so much money there, like retail therapy, because I needed to numb the pain, you know what I'm saying, of what I was feeling like, oh my God, I need to go through that. So that's some of the things that, you know, when I discovered that, okay, for real, I've got fibroids, I went through, I was like, why me? What have I done to deserve this, you know? And just the feeling of feeling like you're not enough as a woman, that first of all, you couldn't fall pregnant at the time. Even now that they're off and, you know, I've been told that I can try again, I'm not even interested, you know what I'm saying? Because people don't realize, and people say it so loosely, like, oh, you can just try again. You know, I've got a sister who had fibroids, and now, you know, even with fibroids, they were able to, you know, conceive, or after they've been removed, they've been able to conceive. They make it seem so simple.
It's easy.
Yeah.
You understand that the thing, number one, it dealt with you psychologically.
Exactly.
So now, right now, you even saying to yourself, why must I even try?
Yeah.
You're not even interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, TK, I don't know, is your father a pastor?
Yes, he is.
So now I want to get into something different from. So now you are this child, a PK.
Yeah.
You grew up in a household where they talk about God.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Do things right. Do this. Go to church. Do this and do that. These are the results that you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You do all of those things.
Yeah.
Then in you, I don't know how old you were when you discovered that you've got fibroids. Then you meet this challenge. What is the first thing that you say to God?
That's such a good question.
You know,
because I think I was a poster girl for a Christian girl. You know, I remember even when I got married, I mean, I only got married at 35. And no child, no funny stories about me till that time. I remember at my lobola, people would say, you know, the way you was all your life. It was like the celebration of this girl who's finally, you know, settling down and everything like that. So throughout my life as a Christian, we've had moments, me and God, where I'm like, girl, dude, like, what's up? The book I was given about how to carry yourself as, you know, a Christian, I think, you know, at least maybe I got 95%. So I don't understand. Yeah, so I don't understand why I'm finding myself in the situation where things are not going as I would like them to go, you know? So you do have those moments. There's a time, especially in 2020 or 2020, where even praying was so hard. Luckily, I have people who pray for me in my life. I think that's where having people who stand for you in prayer plays such a huge part, because there's times where you and God are like just on high, you know, like, dude, whatever.
I wouldn't even blame you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have the words. I know you're there. I know you love me, but right now, I'm not content for you, you know, and everything like that. So I've gone through those seasons where I'm like, you know, God, I'm not happy about this. But through life, I've learned that, you know what, life happens even to good people. You know, things get tricky. This thing that we've been told that if you behave in a certain way, these are the results, is not true. It's not true. Life will deal with you, whatever it deals with you. There is no formula to this thing called life. We're all winging it.
And it's a kind of, where is your relationship with God before we continue? Because we're still going to talk more about now, as we speak right now. How is your relationship with God?
It's the best it's ever been.
Oh, lovely.
It's the best it's ever been. Growing up, you become less religious.
Yeah.
Where it's not about, I've done this, I fasted,
therefore,
I read the Bible this time, I've gone to cell group, I've done this and that. Where it becomes, I have an actual relationship with God. Personal. I come to God as Is Takani, not as how I've been raised to speak to God. I mean, the things that I ask God sometimes, if Christians would hear me, they'll be like, that's blasphemy. How dare you ask God that? You know what I'm saying?
You see what I said? Me and you, we relate in so many things, guys, because my conversations with God, I even clever people with God. Like I gossip with God, like, did you see so and so? I'm Mara, you know? Yeah. Because for me, the relationship is now personal. And I want you, after answering, sorry, I know that when you say religious, your relationship with God is not about religious. You have a personal relationship. So when you finish that, can you just also explain, what is the difference?
Okay. I can jump into that, actually. Religion is very about by the book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wake up in the morning, pray.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, you pray. Behave in a certain way, dress in a certain way to show that you are, you know, a good standing Christian. do all the things that you are told you need to do, you know, judge others. As much as we say we should not judge, but the religion makes us judge. So I look at somebody who is practicing other beliefs, and I want to tell them how they're wrong. And what they're doing is not right. You know, that is what religion is. Whereas now with my relationship, if we were here and somebody else had other beliefs, I would be keen to understand their beliefs. Because I think it's so interesting to hear how people worship. You know what I'm saying?
How they relate with God.
How they relate with God. You know, I find that very fascinating. Actually, when I was very, very young, my dad loves reading. When I was very young, I picked up one of his books when he was talking about different religions. I think from then, my thing for other people, and when I'm in church and people are dissing other religions, I was like, oh, this doesn't sound right. You know what I'm saying? So now that I've got a relationship with God, I'm open to other people practicing what they practice, but I believe in my God. And if you're going to be convicted to come over to God based on my lifestyle, then that's what's going to be.
And that's exactly how we're supposed to be, you know, getting people to get into God. You don't go out there and tell them, go to God. Just your lifestyle should represent Christ. I totally agree.
So I do that in everything that I do. I'm a very loving person, period. You know what I'm saying? So even in the work that I do, I'm very weird in how I manage people. It's very much full of love. That sometimes I'm like, God, hey, these people, are they going to take advantage of me? Because
I'm so nice. I've seen some of your videos.
Yeah, but I want them to feel welcome and warm and loved in my space. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me, that's how I spread the word of God and love, by just being genuine, loving to other people and treating them right with kindness, instead of thinking I'm better because I prescribe or subscribe to the religion of Christianity.
Absolutely. Yeah. Going back to today's topic, dealing with fibroids, Takani, you mentioned the fact that you know sometimes it does affect you like sexually when you're with your partner. Did you also experience that in your marriage as well?
Yes, I did. That's why I had to do some research and find out how to make the whole process a bit easier and stuff like that. And there's things on the internet where you can learn, like if you get very dry quickly or it's painful, what to do. And obviously then I went and incorporated those kind of things.
But then when you're having intercourse, as soon as your partner comes inside, do you feel them? Does it get to a point where now you feel witty? Do you feel these things somewhere in your...
Sure. Not the fibroids, but it really feels like a foreign object coming to your body.
Because they're there.
It makes it very painful.
And you mentioned also the fact that you love kids, Takani.
Yes.
How did that make you feel, the fact that now we are being told, hey, you know, falling pregnant is not going to come easy. Like, for other women right now, like they can sleep now and fall pregnant immediately. For you,
they just sneeze and
exactly, you know, and I'm pregnant, you know. For you, you love. I think, you know, God tests us most on the things that we love. So for instance, me, I love marriage. You guys, I've read books on marriage. I love talking about marriage. I counsel married people, and I've never been married. Guys, I'm passionate about marriage. I'm 36 years. I'm still praying for marriage. So for you, I can imagine how difficult it has been, because now you have a husband. And when you're married, the first thing that abantu bayifunayo, okay, now that you're married, the next thing that's going to come is kids. And you love kids, and these kids are not coming. What was happening to you?
Okay, first of all, what made it easy and maybe not easy is that my ex-husband already had children. Whom I got very well along with, right? And you know, God, it's so funny because the kids and myself looked very similar. You know, like the older one, we looked very even in structure. The younger one, we had the same personality. We were like, you know, the happy go-getters in the house and everything like that. So it already felt like I had children because that's how I'd refer to them, right? However, yes, I would always wonder, what would my mini-me be like? What characters would they have? How would I be as a parent, you know? So in the terms of being a stepmom, I nailed it. Please, it was my certificate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got along with the baby mamas. I'm that person. That's how I'm all about peace and happiness in life. I'm a hippie. Like, hey, everything is, you know, great.
Wow.
And everything. So, you know, just loving them, even his extended family, just kids, you know, even you know, with my nieces and nephews, people know how much I love them.
No, definitely.
My friends' kids, you know, and stuff like that. So I love them. And now that I've made the decision that even though I've been given the go ahead that I can have children, it's not interested, because my life at 40 with no children is actually pretty awesome.
No, we have to get into that. And you're 40.
41 next month.
Like how? Like just
1981, that's how. I don't know what else to say to you. According to my ID. You know what I'm saying?
Let's just keep it at according to your ID. But okay, now you've always wanted kids. Now you're saying at 41, you're 41, you're loading.
Yeah.
Your life is happy without kids.
Yeah.
What happened? How did you get to where you are right now?
You know, the beauty of starting over in life, it gives you a fresh perspective, right? So I've been where I am now many years ago, where I stayed by myself, had no children, but my aspiration obviously was to have children and a family, right? And actually I had a bigger desire to have children versus being married, but I knew marriage was via
channel, right?
Based on how I was raised, you know what I'm saying? So now I look at it, I'm like, I've been here before, where I'm in my, apartment, I stay by myself. I'm like, this is nice. I've experienced it. Yes, that means that it's all about me. I wake up in the morning and decide what Takani wants to do. I've been in a situation, even though the kids were not mine, they control a lot of your activities how you do life.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can just decide tomorrow I'm doing XYZ, and there is nothing standing in my way or anything like that. So right now I'm like, you know what, God has given me the opportunity to start over. And I'm gonna look at it with freshness, realizing that I am content, I lack nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a good space. So there is no need to feel less than because I don't have, you know what I'm saying? If one day I decide otherwise, that will be something completely different. But right now, my life makes perfect sense without children.
And I don't want to pray into your personal life, Takani, but I want to find out, did this whole thing of you not having kids also contribute into you not being married today? Did it affect your? It had nothing to do with that.
No.
Okay, because he had kids. Because a lot of women, when when they don't have kids, they get mocked a lot to say, what's the point of you getting? You know, women are like that's what I'm saying, guys. This month, I normally I don't celebrate Women's Month, and because for me, Women's Day is every day. I celebrate women, I empower women on a day-to-day basis. But I had to do a research because I was invited to share my journey on Wednesday. So one of the questions was, do I believe in Women's Day? And I had to put much thought into it to say, do I really, And I said to myself, actually, I do believe in Women's Day, and I do believe that it's still significant for us to celebrate women because women have been through a lot. Like I'm saying, there's so many women who got married, and some people get it because we don't know whether we're going to have kids or not. Now, you didn't know at some point that you'll be where you are. You understand what I mean? So a person getting married or the in-laws already putting pressure that you must have kids. And years pass by, they don't have kids, and by they're told that's what we call it in Zulu. And umntana now, just because they don't have kids, they are forced to go to either they leave the marriage or bakuletela omunye umuntu to come and assist you. And you didn't call yourself for this to be, nobody calls them things to themselves. I don't want to have kids. So that's why I wanted to ask you, Guti, did that cause a separation with your husband or was it something that
definitely didn't. I must say I was really privileged. Like from even my own family, no one has ever
put pressure.
I think growing up, my family knows I've been a weird child. Like I do things slightly different from everybody else. So I think because we never discussed it, nobody ever said to me, "So, do you actually want to have children or not?"
So they really don't know whether you want it or it was a choice or it's because
like my immediate family. No, there was never something like that. With my in-laws, they didn't give me pressure in that. But if you understand spirituality, right? Fibroids are not just a physical aspect. So through my time of being married, and I'm not going into detail because I don't want to say anything, but I'm also going to say something. You know what I'm saying? There is that spiritual element to fibroids that I'm aware of, and it was even confirmed. Then this is what has happened. You know what I'm saying? So I know it was not, God would have wanted me to, have them. But things happened the way they did, and therefore I found myself in that situation where there was a spiritual play into those fibroids. You get me without saying anything.
That's what you say. I think maybe that's why I connect with you from afar. But there's just something about you look at the person and like it's just something. But now that you're not explaining much, but I can get what you're saying, and I can connect the missing. Yes, but Takani, how do you stay above all the things that are happening in your life because you're such a happy soul? You are such a happy soul, and like I'm saying, you get high on your own high. Like you don't wait for anybody. Like right now, somebody will say, such a gorgeous woman, you're not even thinking about getting married right now, and you're 40 and you're content. When I stress about marriage, even now, I still wake up and say, but God, where is John?
Guy?
Where is he? Like you know, but when you seem to be content and say, if it happens, it happens. What is the
marriage?
secret?
No, I'm definitely not interested in getting married again.
No. Hell no.
No. Oh, no, please.
So, but would you date? Would you have a long
dating,
term?
please, definitely. But marriage, no, unless God has funny surprises ahead of me, you know what I'm saying? But guys, there's nothing wrong with being single and happy. I think society has made it seem like you're missing something or missing out on something.
Hey, when it's full, but I was kumbuli just being on somebody's son's chest and
you spoke about marriage, you didn't speak about
I like that. You know why? And thank you so much for correcting, because you know what? Automatically, when you're talking to a Christian girl, a PK, you would think it's the only way that you can Camela on as fuba, it has to be with your husband. But I like that you're saying this, especially on an international radio platform. We really need to get to a point where we become honest. And I like what you said, that you're no longer religious. You are Takani, and you've got a personal relationship with God. Because people, like right now, Takani, I've been praying about marriage since I was like young. People know me. And I've never had the privilege. But I've commented on a couple of schools, and it doesn't make me less of a Christian, because I still love God. I still believe me and God, we are like this. But I commented on it, and every school that I commented on, I'm hoping that one day I'll wake up. Do you understand what I mean? So for you just to say, and boldly as a PK to say, you spoke about marriage. You didn't speak about marriage, but I do want to comment on this. How long did it take you to get that and say, as in, I'm removing this thing, with marriage can wait, but if I find somebody that I can do life with, you know?
Life will humble you, hey? When you go through life, I'm a very structured person. As simple as, if you say you're going to come to my house to visit me, and you don't come at that time, I'm stuck during that time with what must I do with myself while I wait for you? And you think I'm in my home and it should be comfortable. No, because I'm already, my mind is on somebody's coming. And then So all of that plays a huge part. So my life is pretty much structured, you know what I'm saying? So I grow up with that if you do X, Y, Z, these are the results. And then life shows you that no, you can do 1 + 1 and it can give you 7. Okay? Or -8. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, it made me realize that life is not the way we all thought it would be. You know what I'm saying? Be open to that's one of my favorite phrases. Be open to what may happen next. You know, to go through life light and, you know, with an open heart to what may happen next. So things that I used to subscribe to and think this is the only way of doing things don't really matter that much to me anymore. You know what I want to be known as a happy, loving person, period. You know what I'm saying? So to go through life to say it's only because then what happens that I'm going to be comfortable with being abused or being in unhappy situations, because at least I am married, at least I look right in society, and that's not cute. You know what I'm saying? I want to be genuinely a happy person, whether I'm in front of people or back home, you know, and everything like that. So that's why some things that may come out of my mouth are not PK correct. You know what I'm saying? But they got correct. We speak about these things, whether he likes it or not, I don't know. But we're having that conversation with God about stuff and saying, dude, this is what I want in my life. I want to experience this, you know, I want that, you know, and I'm very honest with God about those kind of things. And, you know, he's got a sense of humor. He does grant me my silly wishes. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, sometimes like, God, today I want somebody to offer to take me out on coffee. And God is funny. It's like, Shia, 1 o'clock, and hi, ma'am, I just thought I should take you out for...
And like,
where he's just like, oh, you know, you've got time for jokes, fine, let's entertain you for the day. And he does exactly that, you know.
I think that's so beautiful though. I think, you know what, you're the right person to teach a woman on this thing of just being themselves and loving their lives. And I think women like you are not given enough platforms and airtime, and I'm happy that the Soulful Weekend show, we granted this time so that you can, because there's somebody who's listening out there and they're saying, actually, I've been married before, but I don't want to get married again. You know, I'm happy with being single and not have kids at the age of 40. Because I don't know why do people think that, I'm 35, the clock is ticking. Ticking for who? Whose clock again are we talking about? Because, you know, your 9 o'clock and my 9 o'clock are not the same. You understand what I mean? Some people got married when they're 23, some 27, some 18, some 20, some 50. So my clock and yours cannot be the same. So I'm happy that in this Women's Month, we are able to tell women to say it's okay to start over again. I've been married. I had my children, even though they were not biologically yours, but right now, you had that setup and you're okay with where you are, because people will put you under pressure to say, now that you're married, you need to go back and get married again.
And funny enough, because when I say that, people think maybe I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it. Oh, homemaker, cooking, making sure the kids were cool. My husband was cool. I enjoyed that, Shem. I was present.
And then you look like that person.
I enjoyed it so much. You know what I'm saying? So me looking at my present life and thinking I prefer this doesn't mean I hated my former. You know what I'm saying? Things didn't work out. I'm a diverse person. I can, and adaptable. Put me anywhere, probably I will survive.
I see someone who can just say to yourself, actually, tomorrow I want to go to New York for a week, and you can do that.
Hey, girl, if I had the money, I would do that.
Your character looks like the person like that. Hence, we relate a lot, because I can wake up tomorrow and say, if I had the money, I can tell you. I mean, every week I'll be in a different country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because my character allows me just to do. I think if I was in your situation, I'll also do the same.
Yeah.
But maybe because I've never experienced it, but also I thank God that He took long into that department. I was saying to God, imagine if you granted us everything that we asked for. Because with certain people that, because like I said, with every sfuba that I cameled on, I didn't camel for mahala. I really thought that, something was, I never dated for fun.
Yeah.
It's only now that a friend of mine was saying to me, I think maybe try something different. Just date 10 people at the same time. I'm like, Aibo, the problem about you is that when I talk about dating, you're thinking that you have to sleep with people. When I say dating, I'm talking about getting to know people. Have 10 boyfriends, and one for good morning, and one for good night, and one for coffee here, and one for Maldives. And I'm like, but the thing is, we are adults. I get on his fuba without giving away the other things. But the other people are. I wish I could do it like that when I and teach people that it's okay. But because when we grew up in the church, we were told, and I think abafundisi somehow they failed us, because there's so many women that find themselves, and so many men and women that find themselves in wrong relationships because we are prejudiced to, especially if you serve in the church. You cannot serve in the church if you don't have umundu shada. You know how many people are screaming to be out of marriages? It's like, I don't know for you, how long did it take to get to a point to say, but this is not serving me, or I'm not serving, because it's not always about you. I'm not serving this person, like I'm not adding value anymore. So I want to, get out. How long did it take, and how did you get to the point where, because there's somebody who's listening, like, I wish I can have their boldness. What are the conversations that you had with yourself?
That's not an easy one to answer, and I won't answer it fully, but I'll give you an idea.
Just give an idea.
Yeah, I think I was typical. I wouldn't have left on my own, let me tell you that, for free. Because we were raised that, good marriages take time, that, you fight for marriage. And, luckily for me, I was not in a situation where people were being beat up or anything like that. No shame, my ex-husband didn't do any of that. However, there's other things, on an emotional part that make you realize that, okay. But I remember one day praying to God, and I said, God, I don't have it in me to go out by myself, because of also how I am. You see, I'm outspoken. People assume in a marriage you're like that as well. And you can be contrary, be a typical Mzalwani, submissive, and everything like that. And people, my ex-husband used to say, if people could see at home, they would be amazed that you are like a typical.
Because how there you are,
as soon as you say you've left, they said, when they ask me what I've done, I look like someone who starts problems. And you're like, if you only knew, you know what I'm saying? So my prayer to God that if he lets me leave, I will not come back. That was my prayer, because things were a bit tricky. And I felt in my spirit that I was under a lot of spiritual attack. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, God, and he create an opportunity, not the best memory of my marriage, in terms of how I left and everything like that. Maybe one day when I'm bold enough.
What was the story?
But I left, and even though I had not been the one who initiated the divorce, but I ended up being the one who initiates it. You know what I'm saying? So I think God wanted me to be the one who has the final story, to say I'm the one who's saying stop to this, even though I was not the one who initially
who stopped it.
And everything like that. So it takes a lot of courage, to do something like that. I look at it now, I'm like, my happiness is more important. Not having anxiety and panic,
depression, bro.
Depression,
being admitted in a hospital, because people do get admitted in hospital.
Exactly.
Nobody gets married to want to divorce.
No,
I don't think so. That would be very
There's
stupid.
just too much effort in it. The families coming together. That's one of the things that I think I wouldn't want to do it anymore, because I'm like, somebody from another family must come and knock at my parents' door again, and then you got the people. It's nothing. It's not like in Western union where it's so easy. For us, there's just too many spiritual elements and family elements to it. It's not physical, and everything like that. So to go through all of that again is not something that excites me, and everything like that. I wouldn't want to put my family through all of that again, or them being like, we hope it will last. You know what I'm saying? Because our parents go through every emotion with us. You know what I'm saying? When you're happy, it's like, okay, but they're also sitting like, I should be happy. When you're not happy, they're like, oh my God, I hope my child will be okay, and everything like that. So for me, it's like I wouldn't want them to go through that. I want them to experience me as the happy person that they named me to be. Takani. Yes, life sometimes show me flames, but I want the bulk of my life to be really about happiness, so that I can live long and enjoy, the next 100 years that God has given me to live.
And how do you feel this happiness on a day-to-day basis, Takani? Because I can tell you right now, people like me and you, we give off a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Because everywhere we go, like the minute I open my mouth, energy, there's so much, because we are energetic. Yeah. The way we speak, we are passionate, we just want to see everybody. How does Utakane refill herself? How do you refill yourself on a day-to-day basis?
Okay. There's many things. I pray in the morning to thank God for the day, because I think it's such a gift.
It is a blessing.
And when I'm healthy, even better.
Yeah.
The kind of music that I will listen that will make me feel good, the information that I get, whether it's a podcast or I watch my favorite show, I spend time doing things that I love. Yeah. So in the last 2 years, staying on my own, I discovered that actually I've got green fingers and I'm a plant mom to 15 plants.
Okay. 15, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny because I grew up in a family where we had a beautiful garden, but I had no interest. When you take advantage of what you have.
Yeah.
And now that I'm here, I'm like, oh, I love that. So I enjoy doing things like that. I spend time with myself a lot. I think that's one of the things that I know for me to be a good person who's never moody when I'm with other people, because I spend enough time with myself. I mean, there's weekends where I said I'm not peopling.
Yeah.
Like I do not want to see people. You know what I'm saying? So that when Monday comes, you see this person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? However, it's not that I'm always high. There's times where I'm very muted and chilled. And sometimes it might be the energy in the room that makes me feel, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it. And I'll just be like quiet. And people are like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just, there's a vibe and I totally got this. So I'm just going to sit it through. I don't need to be that person. There's people who think I'm quiet, believe it or not.
For the longest time, I thought you were, up until today when you walked into the studio.
Yeah.
For the first time I saw you, you were quite reserved.
Yeah.
You were really reserved because you were such a lady, like.
Yeah.
So even the second time, that's why I couldn't remember. Yeah. The first time around, you were so reserved. But when I saw you today, I'm like, I really thought you were a quiet person.
Yeah. A lot of people. So I switch into that, whatever the energy allows me to be that day.
But you're such an amazing human being. And that's more than anything, what stands for me is how you love yourself. And that's why I want you, because we have a few minutes left, but I want you just to, I don't know, how can you teach women how to love themselves, how to be comfortable within their own skin? You are in the beauty industry as well, taking care of themselves, because so many people, especially when when women are going through challenges, it shows from the outside.
Sure,
you can tell by and I know that it's not happening. How can you advise a woman just to say, just take time to yourself? Because I try to do it on the show all the time. Now I just wanted to, for them to hear it from somebody different.
Yeah. The first thing I usually say whenever I have a talk when it comes to like looking after yourself, I say, look at it this way. God created you, right?
Yeah.
If you don't think you're beautiful and amazing, you're actually saying to him, dude, you made a bad thing. So I made an example that if you are cooking and the people that you are serving your food to don't like your food, you'll be offended. You know what I'm saying? You will think, oh my goodness, I put so much effort into this. How do people not love what I am serving them? So for me, when we don't think we are amazing and God did a good job with us, it's us telling God, hey, were you having an off day? why am I like this? You know what I'm saying? So when I appreciate myself and how God created me, for me is one of the ways that I worship God, to say thank you that you didn't take a day off. you thought it was a good idea for me to be, because we know when it comes to reproduction, a lot of things can happen. You know what I'm saying? So, or even on the day of the delivery, or even in your first few years of living, there's someone who's listening today and they wish that child was 40 today. 1981, they gave birth to a child and it didn't make it. I'm here. So for me, it's a celebration every day that, you know what, I'm alive. God still has good ideas about me. And therefore, I'm going to love myself, do a good job at taking care of myself, because I'm a representation of my parents or of God. You know what I'm saying? So those are one of the things that, you know, make me take good care of myself, whether it's internally or you know, physically. Like, God was not playing. He did something.
He took his time.
Yeah. And also another thing, to come up with confidence and everything. A lot of people say, yeah, obviously you'll say you look good, because I've got the typical features that society has said they are beautiful. So the big eyes, you know, the curvaceous body. But you know, a few years ago, maybe the more masculine physique was in fashion. Yeah. You know, this physical body I'm in, it's gonna get out of fashion soon. You know what I'm saying? One day people are gonna say people with small eyes are beautiful. Then what am I gonna do? Am I gonna start thinking I'm not beautiful?
I'm not enough.
You know what I'm saying? So you need to be content and be confident. It's only confidence is what sells. People buy into your confidence. Even if I look the way I did, but if I didn't move the way I do. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't dress for my body to make it look, you know, gorgeous, people wouldn't see that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Or they will always be saying, there's something about you. It's not coming out. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm giving no option. Like, girl, you'll see it.
When now you, like I guess I'm saying, with a person who just fall in love just by looking at you, because you are just putting it out there. And then you don't need, that's what I'm saying, you are high on your own high.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we need to. Because then how do people sell you? I mean, buy you? Because we're all selling ourselves as people. You know, when you see me, you love my personality and everything. By being myself, you're like, okay, I want this person.
I want to get to know them. I want to get them. Exactly.
Yeah. So if I don't believe in myself, how do I convince the next person that I'm a big deal? If, you know, I don't think I'm a big deal to myself. Doesn't mean there's days when I don't think I'm a big deal.
Definitely, yeah.
It happens. Yeah. However, I think most of the days I'm aware that, you know what, God still has a great purpose for me. I'm going to, you know, go through life and enjoying it as much as I can. And, you know, I don't even do things hoping to inspire people, because I mean, I don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? I think there's too much pressure. Yeah. I just want to be myself. And if somebody gets inspired, then that's cute. You know?
So now it's like, I know that somebody maybe is listening, like, but I would like to, you know, engage with them more, because I feel like, you know, I connected with them through this talk. Where can they get you? And what else that's gonna do? Because I feel like we never, you know, spoke about that. Yes. What else that's gonna do?
I'm everywhere where there's social media. I'm a social media junkie. At 14, I like
I'm not the only one.
No, look, I've got a mattress and duvet on social media.
You know?
Okay. The only social media I don't do is Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, Twitter.
My energy is not right for the environment. And I'm not on Facebook. However, I'm on Instagram. Okay. So on Instagram is TK Watakani. That is my Instagram account, TK Watakani. I'm on TikTok, and I have my own YouTube channel. It is called TK Shongwani. Okay. Where I discuss all things beauty, wellness, and lifestyle. Yeah. So yeah, that's where, if you want to engage with me, Instagram would be the easiest. However, if you want to follow more of what I do, then YouTube TK Shongwani is where you'll get me.
And what else that was I gonna do? Because I did mention briefly, like, you're also a blogger. So where can people follow? Yeah. But how do you follow?
Yeah, I'm a blogger. TK the speaker on WordPress. So that's what I write about. That's how you found about my article. I write about whatever is dear to my heart. So if you love reading, then you can go on TK the speaker on WordPress. So what I do on a daily basis, as in my 9 to 5. Yeah. I'm in a retail and sales space. Okay. So I work as a district manager for the #1 global company in the entire world. Oh, hello. Yes. You know, so my day-to-day is basically looking after certain branches of the brands that we have. You know, so that's what I do. I've got a team of people that I manage who look after these stores, and basically I oversee what they do. So from sales, you know, to making sure the stores look good, that they have stock, the discipline of the stores, all those kind of things, building relationship with retailers and all of that. That's basically what you do. Most people say a rep or an AE.
Oh, yes,
yeah, that's basically
yes.
what I do for this specific company.
Sure, TK, I enjoyed. Finally, Mina, guys, God loves me because I always bring the best in studio, and I don't want to lie to you. Whatever that I ask God, He grants it, because for the longest time, I really wanted to have this conversation with you. Like I said, I've admired you from afar, from your beauty, from your body, how you carry, how you just live as if you're the only person that exists in this world. And it's so inspiring because I always like teach people to say, get high on your own high, because there are days where people are not going to say you are beautiful, Masako. Sure. There are days where I'll be, you know, I think I had a great show and nobody will say, oh, well done. And I need to hug myself and say, well done, because if I'm going to rely on people, then sometimes I'm just gonna fall down flat on my face if somebody doesn't say well done. So with you, watching you on, hey, Takani, you just make life seem so easy. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through some of the things that you went through. But at the same time, I believe that Unkulunkulu trusts his greatest soldiers with the greatest test, because he knew by you having to go through what you went through, you will encourage somebody to say, it's okay to start over again. And somebody might say, yeah, but you know, it's easy when you are 20, when you're starting over at the age of 40.
Sure.
So for me, that to me, it's like, yay. So there is no
learning to swim at 40.
Yeah, you told me about the swimming, and I'm thinking, yebo, and I'm like, learning to swim at 40. Yeah. So you are such an inspiration, especially in this Women's Month. I really want to celebrate you, to say thank you for coming in and teaching people to say, it doesn't matter what age you are. If you have to start over, start over. Sure. If you have to get out of that relationship, cool, Matakan, because what's the point of you, you know, sacrificing your happiness because of somebody else, you know? So I just wanted to say thank you, and also to tell our listeners that we are going to continue with this conversation with Takani, because luckily here on the radio station, I'm given an hour of Sisters Weekend, and so I decided, Guti, whatever that we don't finish here on the radio station, I'm going to take it on TV. So I am going to interview you on, you know, our national TV, Soweto TV, where we have a show called Sisters Weekend, where we're going to talk more about this. So for those who missed this talk, they're going to catch us on Monday. We're going to be shooting with Takane. I'm already, so she's going to call. She's got no chance to say she can't make it. Like, she's coming. She's I don't know about that. So we are shooting a TV show. I'm going to convince her to come, because I want to celebrate you, Takane. For me, you gave me an opportunity to see. So it's okay. Because I was very hard on myself to say 36 years old and I don't know why I'm gay to join me as a, you know, but for me, listening to you today, to say it is okay. It's fine. I can be happy and be single at 36 years old as long as I'm okay within myself. Sure. So closing words to our lovely, gorgeous ladies out there, because it's Women's Month. That's but yeah, just the closing words to our ladies out there as we signing out, me and you.
Okay, well, I think the theme of this show has been to love yourself.
Yeah.
No one can do it better than you. You can't teach people what you can't do for yourself.
You can't teach people what you cannot do for yourself.
Yeah, so don't look for love outside. Love yourself. I know something that we share that you didn't mention is that we buy ourselves flowers.
Oh yes, so guys, and I got a gift. I got a gift, guys. So next time, if I can I have my camera for those who are tuning in via YouTube, guys, I got a gift. I'm the one who's supposed to be buying her gifts for coming to studio, but I got a gift. Yay! Thank you so much. We buy ourselves flowers and we spoil each other as women. We don't have to wait for guys to do it for us, guys. Let's do it for ourselves. Yeah, you know, guys, I'm signing out.